In the early 10th century CE, Persian historian Al-Tabari, in his magnum opus Tariq al-Rusul wa al-Muluk, History of the Prophets and Kings, made a mention of an Indian king named Furumisha, who sent a delegation to Sasaniya ruler Khusro Parvez, r. 590 to 628. This delegation, besides people, comprised an elephant, a sword, a white falcon, a brocade coat woven with gold, and letters to the ruler and his sons written in an Indian language. While we don't know which Indian language Al-Tabari was referring to, we do know that the Indian king was the famous Chalukya ruler Pulkesin II. Furumisha probably came from his title Parmeshwar. The Chalukyas were among the most prominent dynasties of the early medieval era, and they ruled across the Deccan and South India between the mid-6th century and mid-8th century CE. However, we don't know much about their origins. Their recorded story starts with the famous inscription dated to 543 CE, found inside a cave in the ancient city of Vatapi, modern-day Badami in Karnataka. It was issued by Pulkesin I under the title Vallabheswara. It credits Pulkesin I with the fortification of Vatapi. It states that he performed the Ashwamedha sacrifice here and describes the Chalukyas as Haritaputras, who were nursed by the Saptamatrikas, or 7 Hindu mother goddesses. He is also mentioned as the son of Rangarga and the grandson of Jayasimha. K.A. Neelkanta Sastri, a noted scholar of South Indian history, believes the Chalukyas were initially vassals of the Kadamba dynasty that ruled northern Karnataka from their capital Banvasi between 345 CE and 525 CE. Pulkesin I must have declared independence by taking control of the area around Vatapi. But historian Durga Prasad Dikshit theorizes that Jayasimha was a feudatory of the Rashtrakutas of Manpura and captured the former Kadamba territory, Idoti Vatapi, as their subordinate and declared his sovereignty. Interestingly, the 11th century CE Kashmiri poet Bilhana, who was appointed as a Vidyapathi in the court of Vikramaditya VI, a later Chalukya ruler, mentions in his epic Vikramankaravaj Harita that once during his meditation, Brahma was requested by Indra to produce a warrior who could put an end to the godlessness in the world and punish the wicked. One such individual was created by the water of his Chuluka, a small vessel, whose family thus came to be known as the Chalukyas. Of course, this is just a legend. Where it all began. The Chalukyas came into the limelight with the accession of Pulkesin I, r.c. 540, c. 567, and thus, he is often considered to be the founder of the dynasty. English epigraphist J. F. Fleet suggested that his name was a hybrid of Kannada and Sanskrit and meant tiger-haired. Pulkesin I was succeeded by his sons, first Kirtivarman I, and then Mangalesha. The Aihole Prashasti of Pulkesin II mentions Kirtivarman I, c. 566 to 591 CE, as the night of doom for the Nalas, the Mauryas, and the Kadambas. It was with him that the territorial expansion of the Chalukyas started. Kirtivarman I defeated the Nalas, who were ruling in Nalwadi, which lay near present-day Bellary and Kurnool districts. He also defeated the Mauryas of the Konkan, who ruled the coastal region of present-day Maharashtra, and the remaining branches of the Kadamba dynasty, which ruled the present-day areas of North Kannada, Belgaum, and Dharwar. A copper plate inscription issued by Kirtivarman I in the 12th year of his reign found at Godachi in present-day Belgaum district states, he surpassed all his kinsmen in diplomacy and valor. He was well versed in the meaning of all the Shastras and their interpretations along with the Smritis, and he felt delighted in fostering justice to his subjects. Kirtivarman I was succeeded by his younger brother Mangalesha, probably because his son Pulkesin II must have been a minor. Mangalesha is credited with commissioning the Mahakuta pillar inscription in present-day Bagalkot district of Karnataka. This sandstone pillar, inscribed in Sanskrit in the old Kannada script, is an important source on the Badami Chalukyas. It provides information about the Chalukya lineage, their military expeditions, their conquests, and early monuments. It also suggests that Mangalesha wanted to expand the Chalukya kingdom northwards and planned to set up a pillar of victory on the banks of the Bhagirathi river. Although he could not achieve this, he managed to defeat Kalchuri ruler Buddhiraja and extend his kingdom up to Nashik first and then present-day southern Gujarat. Besides political details, the Mahakuta pillar inscription also lets us know that under the Chalukyas, Kannada as a language enjoyed royal support and soon became the predominant language of epigraphs and coins. An inscription by Mangalesha is also found in the Badami cave number 3, helping us date the cave temples here as one of the earliest monuments by the Chalukyas, built between the 6th and 8th centuries CE. The valleys of the Mallaprabha, where Badami lies, and the Ghatprabha, both tributaries of the Krishna river, formed the very fertile heart of the farm-based economy of this early empire. Badami, along with Aihole and Pattadakal, formed the triumvirate of urban centers of the early Chalukyas. Badami was the capital city, Aihole became a religious center, and Pattadakal was where the kings were crowned. And, together, they formed one of the epicenters of Hindu temple architecture in the Deccan. Within the 4 Badami cave temples, one of which is dedicated to Jainism, are hundreds of spectacular, detailed sculptures including that of an 18-armed image of Shiva dancing the Tandav with his son Ganesh to his left, and Nandi behind him, Samudra Manthana or the churning of the ocean, Vishnu seated on Sheshnaga, and Mahavira sitting on a lion throne flanked by chauri bearers. There is also some of the earliest evidence of Brahmanical cave frescoes in India. The most celebrated ruler, Mangalesha, was succeeded by the Chalukya dynasty's most celebrated ruler, Pulkesin II, c. 610 to 642. Historians believe that he had to overthrow his uncle to gain his rightful control of the throne. Mangalesha, who had ruled as Pulkesin II's regent, probably decided to usurp power. Pulkesin II's military career was extraordinary, and his most illustrious achievement was his victory over the powerful North Indian Emperor Harshvardhana of Thanesar. The cause of the war between Harsha and Pulkesin is not clear. Neelkanta Sastri suggests that Harsha's growing influence may have driven the Latas and the Gurjaras in southern Gujarat and the Malwas in present-day Malwa to accept Pulkesin's suzerainty. Durga Prasad Dikshit adds that these 3 kingdoms are known to have been enemies of Harsha's father Prabhakravardhana, as attested by Harsha's court poet Bana. This enmity probably continued during the reign of Harsha. The Malwa king played a role in the murder of Harsha's predecessor, Rajyavardhana, and also killed Harsha's brother-in-law, the Makhari ruler Grahavarman. The Gurjara ruler Dada, too, aided the Maitrika dynasty against Harsha. When Harsha decided to act against these 3 kingdoms, their rulers probably sought the protection of Pulkesin II, who may have granted asylum to Harsha's adversaries. This must have created a conflict between Pulkesin II and Harsha. However, this is just one of many theories. Depending on which source you read, Harshvardhana was either pushing south of the Narmada or Pulkesin II was pushing northwards. They met in battle on the banks of the Narmada river, the boundary between their kingdoms, in the winter 618 to 19 CE, according to Dr. Srinand Bapat of the Bhandarkar Oriental Research Institute, Bori, Pune. Chinese traveler Huan Zhang, who visited the court of Pulkesin II, mentioned the war between the two and Pulokeshi's victory over Shiladitya, Harsha. He wrote, "He is of the Kshatri caste, and his name is Pulokeshi. His plans and undertakings are widespread, and his beneficent actions are felt over a great distance. At the present time, Shiladitya Maharaja has conquered the nations from east to west and carried his arms to remote districts. But the people of this country alone have not submitted to him. He has gathered troops from the five Indies and summoned the best leaders from all countries, and himself gone at the head of his army to punish and subdue these people. But he has not yet conquered their troops. The Aihole Prashasti, dated to 634 CE, was issued during Pulkesin II's reign and composed by his court poet Ravikirti. And it is in this inscription that we, for the first time, see the earliest epigraphical reference to the term Maharashtra. Ravikirti wrote that his king has divided his empire into three Maharashtrakas, or three great provinces, each comprising 99,000 villages. Records tell us that Pulkesin II's queens were princesses from the Alupa dynasty of South Canara and the Western Ganga dynasty of Talkar. From Pulkesin's interaction with the ruler of Persia, we also know that the Chalukyas were aware of and actively involved in making connections overseas. Pulkesin II had over time raided various provinces and forts of the Pallava dynasty. In fact, both the kingdoms fought several battles without conclusive results. Around 642 to 43 CE, an army led by Pallava king Narasimhavarman I invaded Vatapi, defeated and probably killed Pulkesin II, and managed to create such havoc that the city was never a capital again. The Pallavas overwhelmed the Chalukyas to such an extent that the dynasty took a few decades to build itself back. Meanwhile, Pulkesin's brother Kubja Vishnuvardhana, r. 624 to 641 CE, had branched out and carved out a new empire in the eastern Deccan, which came to be known as the Eastern Chalukyas, also known as the Chalukyas of Vengi. This dynasty ruled from 624 to 1189 CE, before becoming vassals of the imperial Cholas. They were responsible for much of the early efflorescence of Telugu culture, literature, poetry, and art. The Badami Chalukya dynasty went into a brief decline following the death of Pulkesin II due to internal feuds when Badami was occupied by the Pallavas for 13 years. It recovered during the reign of Vikramaditya I, who succeeded in pushing the Pallavas out of Badami and restoring order to the empire. Fascinatingly, Vikramaditya I took the title Rajmalla, literally the sovereign of the Pallavas. Pattadakal's magnificent temples. The later Chalukyan rulers made their mark in temple building activities, and we owe the UNESCO World Heritage Site of Pattadakal to them. The most magnificent temple here is the Virupaksha temple built around 740 CE. In inscriptions, it is referred to as Sri Lokeshwara Mahasila Prasada, after its sponsor Queen Lok Mahadevi. She got the temple built to commemorate the victory of her husband, Vikramaditya II, RC 733 to 746, over Kachi, the capital of the Pallavas. He was helped by Western Ganga king Sri Purusha in his expedition. Interestingly, it is believed that the famous 8th century Kailas temple at the Ellora caves was modelled on this temple. However, the Virupaksha temple itself was modelled on the Kailasanath temple at Kachipuram, which was built in 700 CE. Pattadakal's monuments reflect a fusion of two major Indian architectural styles, one from North India, Rekhanagra Prasada, and the other from South India, Dravidavimana. Most of the temples house a Garbhagriha, Sanctum Sanctorum, which leads to an Antarala, vestibule, which is joined by a pillared mandapam, hall. The image of the deity is kept on a pitha, pedestal. On top of the sanctum rises a shikhra, spire, that has a kalash, pitcher, with coconut and mango leaves at its finial. Gold coin of the Badami Chalukyas. The script format coincides with the pattern of rulers Vikramaditya II and Kativarman to Todiwala auctions. Vikramaditya II's son Kativarman II was the last ruler. His reign was continuously troubled by the growing power of the Rashtrakutas and Pandyas, and he finally succumbed to the onslaught of Danti Durga, the Rashtrakuta chief who ruled the Ellora region in modern-day Aurangabad in Maharashtra. Thus came to end the 2 centuries of Badami Chalukyas. However, in the 10th century CE, the Chalukyan Empire had a second innings. This dynasty is known as the Western Chalukyas or the Kalyani Chalukyas, after their new capital city of Kalyani, modern-day Kalyan in Karnataka. The dynasty ruled from 957 to 1189 CE, before they were defeated and their empire was absorbed by the Hoslas, 10th to 14th century CE.